I can leave them my cell phone number to call me, and I tell them that every time, they'll still call that house phone. I'm not home. You have got to give me a call. You have got to give me an hour to get home. They have got to give some service times that will allow folks to make an evening time after they get off of work, instead of having to take out 4 hours in the middle of their day to come home and sit and wait for someone to show up. And if evenings isn't enough, they need to do weekend, Saturday mornings, Saturdays calls. I mean, these guys that do these calls, they don't mind working, or they wouldn't be working. And if you have to pay them overtime a little bit to do this, maybe you have to entice them a little bit. But I'll guarantee you, if given the opportunity, there's somebody out there that would take up the offer to make these service calls in the evening times or on the weekends. We can do this. One of the council clerks, actually both of the council clerks, mentioned this one to me on the new customer exclusions. When they run these specials, you can get your internet service, your cable telephone service, and your cable TV for $25 a piece for 6 months. Oh, only if you're a new customer. You know, if you can't do all of your customers the same, you know, I'm sorry. It's a whole lot easier to keep a customer than it is to make a new one. And the enticement on that is a slap in the face when you're driving down Cowan, or driving up Cowan Road. They have a sign there, I guarantee it's been there a year, where they're advertising that special, and it says, new customers only, or restrictions apply. And you know you can't get it when you're paying $50 a month for your internet and someone else is going to get it for $25. I think we have some discrepancy in the city as to where we're getting cable service. I know here at City Hall we're supposed to have it for free, but I see it appearing every month or every docket of claims that we're still paying for cable at our buildings throughout the city. And I think we're doing that at all of our community centers. And I would like to explore the possibility of having free cable service to the city-owned buildings. Not only is that good to have for the seniors that get to come there and participate in our activities, but it's a great way that we could broadcast our city channel. Burying lines, I like burying lines. It sure does provide a cleaner look, and that's definitely what I'm going for. I think Miss Barbara Nally set an example in her term as councilwoman. She was going for a nice, beautiful city. I want to continue that effort, and this is a great way to start or continue that effort, is to look towards a long-term plan such that when the folks come in off the airport, Ms. Holmes-Hines, they see a city they want to move to. A couple of more items. ESPN3.com. If you go to it, you're supposed to be able to get for free if your current service provider is one of their listed preferred companies. CableOne is not on that list, so you can't get ESPN3.com, which would allow you to watch a lot more games via the internet, no matter where you are at that point, if you are one of those customers. I think it's just a simple agreement that you have to have with ESPN. I'd like for them to do that. Greg, I think you mentioned before this meeting started, there are 19,000 households or customers in the city of Gulfport. There's only 69,000 folks in the city of Gulfport according to their 2010 census. So on average, 2.5 people per home. That's just about every single household in the city of Gulfport has cable service to it. And we don't have a single operation in the city of Gulfport where you can go in and get a cable box or take one back or pay your bill. You have to go to Long Beach or Biloxi. There's the one right there where Gold's Gym used to be, but you can't do that stuff there. That's a different type of office. So you have to leave the city of Gulfport to take care of your business with CableOne. That's ridiculous. We definitely have more people than anybody else, than any other city on the coast, and we don't have a service center for our constituents. 1 hour time warning that they're going to be at your house, they've got to do that. People can't just hang out all day. And I think they could give you an hour window when they could hit your house. They could do that. There, Ms. Nally mentioned a moment ago about a cable service that's very inexpensive. I think they have something called Lifeline, where it's a reasonable rate a month. I don't know the exact amount, but it's the basic channels, and I don't think it has ESPN. That might be something worth exploring. But I think they have it. If I remember, I looked into it one time. The cost of getting that service hookup was more than getting basic cable hookup. So they were trying to dissuade you from using that service on initial setup. I think that service should be at the same amount that they're charging for any hookup. It's the only thing difference on the technology side is they come in and put a filter on. That's it. There's no reason that should be more than a basic cable service hookup when it is strictly for a market that is most likely on a fixed income or one income household. And there's no reason they should make that markup on there. I think I went through my exhaustive list.
Thank you. For CableOne, I would love to have in this contract the notice when they're going to change the TV shows. It just happens. You know, you're sitting there, your child knows when it's supposed to happen, and most people who have regular cable time will need to be in place for the little cable television shows, and more than often it just disappears. If you want to upset a child, let her know time and that show disappeared. Electric company is her favorite. It goes off, it comes on, it goes off, it comes on. Many people have asked me for a credit when their service is out at a given period of time. Not an hour or two, but if they go into 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, they want a credit on their service, and that's not unreasonable. It's also important to know that basic cable has a lot of duplication of shows. When you finish, you think you have X number of shows, up to 14, 15, maybe even 18. But when you start counting the duplication of identical shows running the identical same time, you're very down to just about minimum. There have been citizens who've said that their basic cable is edging up, like maybe $2 a year without notice. It's just keep edging up every year without notice. Then when I have had citizens to say, you know, I didn't pay the bill, it got cut off, and then they asked for a greater deposit or whatever. I never could get my hand around that. And Greg, you're going to have to look that up to see what happens when they lose service, what's required to receive service back.